Okay, this is now tarot lesson number 117, and today it's about day one thinking. So, a few videos ago, I mentioned a book by Hermann Hesse, The Glass Bead Game, and in German it's Das Glasperlenspiel. Okay, so glass in German is G-L-A-S. Oh, I should do it this way. Glass is G-L-A-S. Okay? And beads, B-E-A-D-S, in English is Perlen. Right? And the verb to play is spielen. S-P-I-E-L. Right? So, in English, in German, the book was called, I think it was Das, meaning so Das Glasperlenspiel. And so even if you don't know the meaning of the word, because German and other languages get a number of different words and add them all together to make up a composite word. So Das Glasperlenspiel, even if you didn't know it, you can look, okay, this is glass, this is beads, and this is play, game. So the glass bead game, you can figure it out even if you're not familiar with the concept. And I want to say that this is the same with a tarot card, because you get any card. I happen to have the Hermit on top here, because this is lesson number 117. 117 equals 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 7 is 9. Right? And I wasn't sure how I was going to begin. So if we begin with the Hermit as 117, we look at the Hermit, we've got an individual who looks solitary, and he's standing on maybe the top of an icy summit, and he's got a staff in his hand, and he's got a lamp, and he's got a beard, so he's old and maybe wise. So we've got a whole lot of different bits and pieces of ideas connected with the Hermit card. So maybe if you take 117, you've got the Magician for number 1, the Magician again. So either you've got a starting point and you double it, or you've got the starting point and you reflect it. They make a mirror image of it. And then you've got the 7th major trump, the Chariot card. So you figure out a direction, and that is what the Hermit does, or what the Hermit is about. He's got ideas, originality, and a goal in mind, and that's what makes him wise, maybe. So you've got the bits and pieces of the Hermit card, and you can put them together to tell a story. So the reason this is day one thinking is because I watched a video, and I'll put the link in the description, and it was an interview with Jeff Bezos, who used to run Amazon. So the clip or the video had to do with why businesses fail. So Jeff talked about day one thinking. And so the idea, he said, among other things, that the idea it's the old idea of rebirth and renewal. And if you think of day one, if every day is a new day, every day is a new beginning, and you can have new possibilities, new ideas, new information, and you're not trapped by the past. So because he said trapped, it made me think of the Eight of Swords, where's somebody trapped? So maybe you add to your understanding of the card the idea that if the Eight of Swords comes up, maybe the person isn't making use of day one thinking, that they're trapped by the past, or they're thinking that it's always been like this and there's nothing I can do about it. Whereas Jeff's point is every day is day one, or if you at any time you can have day one thinking, where it's new and there are possibilities, and you're not trapped by old ideas or trapped by the past. And so we look at any card. If you look at any card, what have I got here? The 10 of Batons. So we've got if you look at what's going on in the picture, we've got a number of possibilities, 10 of them. They're crossing each other, so they may be getting in each other's way, and maybe that's what why the person is struggling, is because they haven't got a clear path to travel or a clear direction in which to go. That you've got good ideas maybe, but they're sort of intersecting, or they're getting in each other's way. And that can be why, or that can be the problem, if there is a problem, shown by this 10 of Batons, getting in your own way, or your goals and your ideas get in each other's way. So stop and sort them out and have a plan, or have a direction maybe. So the point I think I want to make is, when you turn a card, you look at it, but think of it as day one thinking. You're not looking at the card and thinking, okay, what does it mean? Or what did it used to mean? Or what meaning did I give it a week ago, a year ago, 10 questions ago? Rather than turn a card and expect that you already know what it is, or what it's about, or what it means. Maybe what you do is use day one thinking. You look at the card and you think, okay, what's going on, and what are we going to do about it, or what can we do? I'm not going to be limited or controlled by what I used to think. What new ideas can I have, or what new direction can I take with this particular card? So I was thinking about the Three of Swords, because you look at the Three of Swords and it seems to be a bad card, right? Bad in inverted commas. So it shows sorrow and sadness, and your heart has been plunged with three swords, and there's rain and it's clouds and it's sad and you're crying. However, we ought to remember, think of times when you were sad about something and you had a little cry. You felt better because you had a cry. You had a little weep about something that was lost or gone, or something you regret, whatever it happens to be. But the crying, the tears, actually made you feel better. So when you look at the Three of Swords, you can't automatically or always think this is a bad card, because maybe it's actually just what you need to become free of something that's been holding you back. You have a cry, you feel a moment of regret, and you think, okay, I'm not going to do that again, or I'm not going to encourage the same kind of outcome, or whatever you would think about it. Because the Three of Swords, yes, it shows sorrow maybe, and a heart with swords through it, and maybe it represents hardship, but it's not automatically a bad thing. So this made me think of, in a horoscope, Mars. That's the symbol for Mars. And Mars represents personal creative energy. So there are 4 elements: fire, air, earth, and water. So, and there are 4 different kinds of signs: fire signs, air signs, earth signs, and water signs. So if you have Mars in a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, you can get rid of stress by getting angry and having a tantrum, because that's fire. Getting angry and having a tantrum. If you have Mars in an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you can, if you're stressed, you can go and dig a ditch, or you can go to a gym or do something physical and get involved with hard labor. And you can get rid of stress, Mars, the god of war. You can get rid of stress by exercise, by physically doing something. If you have Mars in a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, you can cry and get rid of stress. It'll work. So you have a cry, and it releases the tears, or this is what I was thinking of with this Three of Swords. There are tears coming out of the clouds, and it's water and it's moisture, therefore tears. And you feel better because you had a little cry. But, and this is what I want to mention, if you have Mars in an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, you can't. Libra, air is a sign of communication, among other things. If you get Mars in Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, you can't talk out stress. Talking about a stressful situation does not make it better. You can cry about it if you get Mars in a water sign, and that makes it better. You can go to a gym with Mars in an earth sign, and you're not as stressed. You can have a tantrum with Mars in a fire sign, and that makes you feel better. You can't talk out stress if you're born with Mars in an air sign. So, next time you see, this is the point I'd like to make about day one thinking. So when you turn a card, Jeff makes the point in the video about how you're not rejecting everything to do with the past, but you're also not being controlled by what happened yesterday or last week or last year or what happened the last time this card came up in a reading. And if we can be nimble, sort of, and imaginative, and we can turn a card and look at it as if it's the first time we're seeing it, even though we know an awful lot about the card or we know a certain amount about the card. If you can look at a card and see it as if for the first time, you'll do better. You'll figure out what it means. Going back to Das Glas Perlenspiel, you don't know the word, what it means, but you can figure it out by breaking it down into the different bits and pieces. Glass, beads, game. And it's the name of the book, The Glass Bead Game, in English. That was what I wanted to do today about day one thinking. So, what do we do? You look at, when you're wondering, when you want to get to know cards a bit better, or you want to study a bit or practice a bit, take a card, any one, and see what you get. There's the Seven of Batons. So we look at it, we've got an individual, he's above other people. So maybe he's in a dominant position, or it's a boss, or it's a parent who's in a dominant position over the child. And we've got this person here is like the other people, because down below you've got 6 batons and he's holding a baton. So he is like other people, even though he's separate. He may think he's different from them, but actually he's holding the same object as the other people down below. So he may think he's different or he want to act differently, but he's still the same as the other people. And it can be the fact that he's using the same thing, can't think of the word. He's using the same implement or the same tool as the people down below. And maybe what he's trying to do is come up with a new use for a tool. So I'm thinking of software and using a computer program and coming up with, maybe the Seven of Batons has to do with coming up with a new way of doing something, or a new way of using something in a way that nobody's thought of before, or that people haven't really taken seriously. So we look at the card and you write down different ideas on a piece of paper or in your notebook, and then you remember that it's day one thinking, where we want to see what we've got now, today, going forward, and what we can do with it, rather than be limited by what we thought yesterday, or what we read in a book, or what somebody else told us a particular card means. So that was that. And it's today, I'm recording this on the 28th of December. So it's almost 2024. So that's it for 2023, I imagine. So I'll see you next year, as they say, unless it's next year and you're watching this, in which case, hello again. Okay, bye-bye.